Welcome back to WST Talks. I'm your host, Dominique Dotson, and I'm here with co-host Liam Haycock. And today we are going to be talking about should student athletes be paid for being student athletes. So instead of just receiving their scholarships, in which pays for their school and pays for their books and their housing, should student athletes also be paid an additional salary for the work that they do? So Liam, what do you think?
I feel for me, in my opinion, I believe student athletes should not get paid, in my opinion. I think it's totally against what collegiate sports is all about. We all know that when we do, I would say, join the NCAA, we have to always sign this amateurism status, which, I mean, we've got to stick to that sort of thing, and I think being paid would quite contradicting to that, and collegiate sports, on the other hand, there could be a case to being paid because athletes do a lot. They do a lot on campus, off campus. They're leaders. They produce high-end schools, big schools produce a lot of money, which could be a case as to why some college players should get paid.
So I think that, in my personal opinion, I feel that student athletes should get paid like an additional salary for their sports depending on, I guess, how much money the school is making off of them. So one good example is college football and college basketball. We all know about like college football when it's like game day on ESPN or ABC, or like big bowl games, or like these multi-million-dollar companies are using these student athletes to bring in views, to bring in fans, to spend money. Nike uses student athletes. AT&T uses student athletes. Like, these big corporations use these student athletes' names to promote their products and to sell their services, but the student athletes don't see any profit or any share of that because under NCAA rules, you're an amateur, which means you're not allowed to be pretty much
playing professionally.
Yeah, it would be like a professional endorsement if you're getting paid for being an athlete. It's a service that, like, you're getting money for being an athlete. But the thing is that when you're a student athlete, you know, you have your lift, you have practice. Some people even have study hall, and it really is like a second-time job. It really is a second job along with school as well. So a lot of the things that you put through, like the physical labor sometimes, it would seem that you would want to get paid for it, especially if all these companies are making money off of your name, off of your brand, but you're not making anything else in return for it.
I suppose I'm going to make a little bit of an argument there. I think as a college athlete, everyone should know kind of what they're signing up to. I understand that there's a lot to do as a student athlete, that we have to juggle two things, even more for some people, and it's understandable. But I think when you're a student athlete, before you become one, you have to realise the demands that it does bring with it. So in that case, I don't sympathise with that point, but it could work. It's a valid case again.
Yeah, that's one of the cases along with it as well. But there's another issue where maybe student athletes shouldn't get paid because there could be a discrimination with who's being paid what and how much they're being paid. So college football and basketball, specifically men's basketball and football, generate millions, maybe billions of dollars each year in the industry. But sports like women's soccer, even soccer in general, men's and women's, lacrosse, softball, crew, even sports like that, don't generate the same amount of money that football and basketball do. So if student athletes were to get paid, how would you pretty much make the salaries? Would there be a sliding scale? Would there be a grade scale based on like how much work or how much money the program brings in? So that can really cause issues of discrimination and also issues of women possibly being paid less than men because women's sports don't generate the same revenue that men's sports do. So that can be like, that's one of my arguments. I'm kind of for it, but also against it as well, because there could be disadvantages to other people who play sports because their teams or sports don't generate the same money that bigger sports do.
Once you start flying money around, it becomes a very dangerous game, in my opinion. You start getting a lot of jealousy, greed, and along with the scholarships as well, it becomes a very confusing game, which, I mean, for college sports, it's dangerous to deal with, and if they're good enough, they'll make it professionally.
Yeah, exactly.
So there shouldn't be any problems there if they want to get paid. So, yeah.
So let us know what you think. Do you think student athletes should be paid for playing their sports? You can leave your comments below.